Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network. I'm your host, Rick Davis. I urge you to follow me on social media. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you have an opportunity, visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. If you're interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate in the greater Houston area or anywhere in the state of Texas, this is an outstanding website where you can get a lot of valuable information. As always, my co-host is not only a Texas real estate broker, he is an author and a serial entrepreneur. You may have seen him online via social media and also through the many interviews he's done with television and radio. So, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience my co-host, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks.
Appreciate that, Rick. Thank you, sir. Hey guys, it's a pleasure to be in front of you again today. As usual, I'm kind of relaxed today. I spent the weekend in Miami, Rick, with my son. He celebrated his 13th birthday. And so what we started a few years ago was a tradition where he picks a different country, a different state that he wants to go to, and we go hang out for the weekend. And so it was just he and I, and I was telling Sharon just a moment ago that, I suntan my whole body except for my face. And so I'm peeling and everything else starts to break out because that's the only thing you don't put sun on, right? So I got to figure this out. So if anybody has any ideas on what I can do to protect my face when I'm running around in the sun, please feel free to text me or inbox me, DM me or something like that.
If you would bring back a bag of Florida oranges for your friends, things like this wouldn't happen.
So so then I have the secret advice. Is that
what
it is?
You got to bring back the bag of oranges, man. It's called karma, bro. It's called karma.
But guys, feel free to always follow me on any of the social media platforms at Texas Real Estate King. My website is larrywbrooks.com. And it's just a pleasure to be here today. And we have a great guest, and you're going to enjoy. She's very entertaining.
Today's guest is not only a leading and successful businesswoman in Greater Houston, but she's also one of the leading entrepreneurs in the home protection space. So if there's anyone who's interested in building their own home protection business, who are shopping for homes, who have recently closed on a new home and need information on how to protect their most valuable asset, let's tag, text, and link them to today's episode of the Prime Real Estate Network. But I want to make sure I introduce to our audience Ms. Sharon Grace. She is not only the co-founder, but she's also the Chief Marketing Officer with Safehouse Protection. So I want to thank Ms. Grace for being here, and I want to introduce her to the Prime Real Estate Network audience.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Larry. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Man, it's a pleasure having you. Thank you for carving a little time out of your busy schedule for us today. That's very much appreciated by Larry and myself.
No problem.
I want to get straight to the interview because we don't have a lot of time with you today, but I want to make sure we get as much valuable and necessary information out to the public as possible. So first, let's talk a little bit about your company, Safehouse Protection. What is it that you provide to the public as far as protection for their newest, most valuable asset, which is their new home?
Well, we have alarm security systems. We also have the ring system. Nest, that's your thermostat. We can control it. But our biggest thing that we have that just came out now from ADT is a command center. So that sits right on your counter, and you can control everything. Now you can control the lights, the thermostat, even the ring.
Oh, wow.
All of that all together.
Yeah. Now, of course, I done some studying because I work with clients, so I know a little bit about the ring system. But as a professional and someone who consults with new homeowners on a daily basis in regards to the value of these type of systems, what benefit have your clients expressed to you after installing these systems that you can relate to our audience?
Well, if we're talking about the customers,
Yes.
I mean, the customer, it helps their home also go up in value.
Oh, wow.
So when you're selling it later and you put in there that you have a fully automated home automation system in your
Oh,
home,
Mm-hmm.
that brings it up in value as well too.
Right.
As far as the realtors that I work with and things like that, it helps them have another avenue of marketing for themselves as well too, because now they will go ahead and say, well, you all guys already say we have a title company, we have an inspector, now you can say, well, now we also have a security alarm company
Right.
that we have for you already. That helps them, keep clients, get more clients. So it's a good marketing tool as well too.
It's a strong marketing tool because even using that, what a lot of people don't know is when you have those type of securities in place, your insurance is cheaper too.
That is
So
true.
you get to think
Yes.
about your insurance is much cheaper when you have all of those type of things in place. So it's actually a part of the application process now when you're looking to get home insurance. They asking you, well, do you have security in place? Does it do this? Does it do that?
Yes, they do.
And
Yes.
so it allows your monthly bill on that to be much less as well.
But it's interesting that you bring that up because I want to make sure we illustrate for the public how important it is to get these things set up prior to closing.
Mm-hmm.
Because these applications and these forms that you have to fill out, these are all pre-closing forms
That's
for
right.
the most part. So having these type of systems already ordered, already scheduled to go in upon closing, can save you and provide you with that added value that you both, Larry and yourself, Ms. Grace, have been speaking about. But I want to make sure I ask you this because I think a lot of time as business owners, I don't think that a lot of the public understands that before you decide to create a business, it's more about public service
Yes.
because you do a lot more educating than you do selling.
Yes.
So where is it that you got your passion for educating the public as far as the value of home protection services?
It's gonna sound weird to y'all, but that would come from my business partner.
Okay.
Yeah, it came from my business partner. And at that time, he was my husband.
Oh,
Okay. So he used to work for a company called Ranger America.
Mm-hmm.
He worked there. He learned as much as he possibly could there. He rose in the company pretty fast.
Okay.
And then once we were married and we had our second child, he decided it was time for us to branch out and make the business.
Yeah.
So he started teaching me everything there was to know about the home alarm systems and things like that. And what he found that was missing, which became really important to me, was that there wasn't a personal interaction anymore.
Wow.
It was like people were getting calls, realtors get calls,
Right.
customers get cold calls, and it's just kind of like, do you have a security alarm? No, you don't. Okay, well, you need to get one, and then somebody hangs up, and then you're kind of like lost.
Right, no personal
No,
consultation.
you don't know
Right.
what to do next.
Right.
So as he built the company, we decided to make sure that we got to a point where I go out, I meet with realtors, I explain to them exactly how everything goes. If I meet with a customer, I explain exactly how everything goes. I don't leave until you are educated on the 3-year contract.
Yeah.
What do you do if you decide, all of a sudden you were going to stay in your house for 3 years, but now you're going to move in 1 year? What happens next with the alarm? How is it going to affect your assurance quote? All of that. How to work the system.
Right.
And I make sure that you're educated through all of that. Never like to badmouth other companies, but I'm just saying that people making calls or just sending emails are not gonna be able to do that personal touch.
That's right.
thing.
One
That's
question I
important.
want to make sure I ask you because I want the public to understand. For those who are already living in their home that may have already had an alarm system installed on the home that may be between maybe 5 and 10 years old,
Okay.
do you get calls about people who want to upgrade their existing systems to make them more technologically relevant in today's market? Because I'm working under the assumption that maybe in 2007, 2006, I don't know if they had Ring door systems at the time.
We didn't.
So if you have an older home with an older system, I would work under the assumption that maybe you have clients that would like to upgrade to some of the things that they see now that you offer that they don't have.
As far as our clients who already have ADT, they probably get, informed through marketing
Right.
about the upgrades and things like that. Unfortunately, Safehouse, we haven't really got a lot of calls about upgrades. That's the reason why we decided to reach out to the realtors, reach out to the insurance agents, reach out to the new home salespeople, things like that. Because insurance agents, you're always going to renew your insurance.
Right.
So if you have a client who comes in and he or she realizes, well, I haven't upgraded my system in 10 years.
Exactly.
That agent who I've now hopefully built a relationship with can say, you know what? You haven't upgraded your system, have you lately? And or if that customer asks, well, I haven't upgraded my system. Do you know anybody? Then they can say, well, sure, yes. I've got Sharon, and put her. But that's why I wanted to reach out and make sure I build relationships so that I can help those customers. I've had, probably one. I remember specifically an older lady lives out in Richmond, Texas, and she did call in and want her system upgraded. Knew nothing about Ring, knew nothing about Nest, none of those things. But her insurance agent was Kevin Patton. Can I say that? Okay, good. Kevin Patton, and he gave us a call and he let us know, it was time for her to upgrade, and we took good care of her and made sure to teach her, educate her on everything that she was getting.
No, I mean, because I want to make sure that we make it crystal clear that just because you have a system, if your system is 8 to 10 years old,
yes,
it may be time to consider.
It is definitely time to consider
what is out there versus what was not out there when you moved into your home.
Yes.
I mean, that's a little old. You might want to figure out what's going on.
Yes, it's definitely time to upgrade. Yes.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about your company, your brand, and what it is from a community outreach standpoint that you do to get the name Safehouse Protection out there. When you go out and meet, I know you were working with brokers and realtors. What other types of ways may people have seen you guys brand and might not have necessarily remembered, oh, that's Sharon? No, because, it's a lot of people that we have as guests. And, of course, their companies are more well-known than they are as an individual. So Larry and myself would get a call after the show. It's like, oh, my God, I saw that company. I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. So do you get that a lot?
Not a lot, but we have tried to some of the local venues that they have where people send me information on email, and then they ask me to be a vendor there. We will, buy a little booth, put our booth up at different stations. But mainly what I do is I try to go out to events that the realtors are holding for customers.
Yep.
And be out there and have my little sign up and talk with the customers, engage with people, start building relationships, talk about the company, just have general conversation, and then, let it flow naturally from there. I do want, and I hope people reach out to you, if they would like us to come to their event, be there, put up a stand, I definitely know that we are definitely open to that.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because we have a lot of real estate professionals that view our platform and check out the pod. So for you to let everyone know that you guys are open to having a booth and being out, I'm sure there's a lot of upcoming events where people would love to have.
Oh, we are sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
we even do that too. For like new home sales agents, realtors, if you're having open house,
open houses,
we will pay for that. We will, go ahead and set up, knock it out for you.
No. Make sure just so that everybody knows. New home sales people, if you have standing inventory that you need to market and you're at ready to open house, please reach out to Miss Sharon Grace because it'll be one of the best decisions you've made because I've worked in that space.
Okay.
So I understand how important it is to have reputable vendors there as another point of contact. Because there are people who may not necessarily feel comfortable interacting with the salesperson right now.
This is true.
But will give you their every piece of identifiable information. So I've always seen the benefit of having vendors at those type of functions. So I'm glad you guys offer that particular service. And I hope everyone who hears this pod takes you up on that offer.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I want to get into a little bit about your personal history as an entrepreneur and businesswoman.
Okay.
Because we're going to take a short break, but when we get back, if you wouldn't mind, I want you to speak to our audience about your travels in the entrepreneurial space, some of your mentors and inspiration, and how you evolved to where you are now as a leader, business professional, and entrepreneur, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, and we'll be back after you hear from our sponsor.
This is Rick Davis, realtor and host of the Prime Real Estate Network. Are you currently leasing or looking to relocate to the Houston area and you find yourself falling in love with a home but aren't quite in a position to purchase? Well, no worries. We offer the Right to Purchase program. We can place you in the home of your dreams at current market rental rates and give you up to 3 years to buy. Did you know that a majority of the homes that are for sale offer better quality than those that are for rent? So why wait? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Let me and my team help you purchase a home that you and your family can fall in love with. Give me a call today at 832-928-3963. And remember to follow the Prime Real Estate Network podcast on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Be blessed.
Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network, where we're having entirely too much fun. I'm your host, Rick Davis. I urge you to follow me on social media at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, my co-host is the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. And our guest today is the co-founder and chief marketing officer of Safehouse Protection, Miss Sharon Grace. Thank you so much, Ms. Grace, for being with us today as our guest.
Thank you.
I would like to continue our interview and ask you some of the things that we've discussed in our first segment. So first of all, could you talk a little bit about where you're from?
Okay.
And what brought you to the greater Houston area and why you decided to not only reside here, but also build your business and brand here as well?
Okay, let's see.
Start wherever you like.
Start with, okay. Born and raised in Toronto, Canada.
Canada.
Yes, I know, cold, but loved it.
But you know what? I saw an amazing game. I was there earlier this year, and so you guys are doing well in basketball right
Yes.
now. But I was there
Toronto
for an
Raptors.
amazing game. They won in the last second of it, and the stadium went wild.
Yes.
So
Okay,
it was,
so now there's a question. So you went
Great
during the winter
supporters.
months.
yeah,
Was it as cold as everybody?
yeah, it was cold. It was painful cold. Like, you know,
I knew that was coming.
I'm a Texas boy, so you know, but it was painful cold. It was like below 30 while I was down there, so everything just hurt when you
like
were out in the
your
cold.
chest hurt, cold.
it just-
yes,
it was cold.
I've always
Yes.
been told to visit Toronto during the summer.
I've never been during the summer. I know that they have activities that take place, but man, it was cold. So I apologize for interrupting.
No,
you. I
you're
just had to
okay. It's
Get
all
that
right.
plug in, but it was cold.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. As I was saying, born and raised in Toronto, Canada. What brought me here originally was my grandmother.
Okay.
She wasn't doing so well. So before it was time to go off to college, because I was already being highly recruited in Canada for basketball, I decided I wanted to take a year, come down, be with my grandmother, and help take care of her until my aunt or my dad or someone could get down here, take care of her. Spent a year here, left, went to North Carolina at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte,
Okay.
hooped there, and then went overseas for a couple of years, and then was deciding then whether to go back to Canada or come back to Houston, and unfortunately, my grandmother passed.
Okay.
So I decided I'm going to come back here. By this time, my aunt was here, and then I decided to make this my home.
Okay.
Stay here with my aunt.
I mean, usually when we get people in Houston, Texas, they don't
You
leave.
don't let go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, as I stayed here, I started working at the village school. I was a basketball coach, assistant basketball coach, and the track and field
Okay.
long distance running coach.
So I got to ask, because me and you discussed a little bit about your background before we started taping.
Yes.
And at no time did you mention that you was a basketball coach.
Yes.
Now, a little bit behind the curtain for everybody.
Oh my goodness.
I like to thoroughly research our guests before they come on our pod. So me and Ms. Grace were discussing some of the things and some of the tidbits that I found out about her during my research, and never did she
Never.
mention that she was a basketball coach. So, but to bring that back to our conversation, those skills that you developed not only as an athlete but as a coach, how do you think you've used those same skills in your entrepreneurial vision and as you've built your company as a businesswoman? Do any of those skills translate to the other, you think?
Yes, they do. Persistence, dedication,
Yep.
commitment, leadership.
Yep.
All of those things are in there. Also, when you're on a team, you learn to follow so you can better lead.
That's right.
All of that. So all those things being instilled in me from family all the way up to my coaches help with the business. I was saying I was at village school, and then from village school, now he's going to get mad at me, I then became an AAU coach for 10 years.
Sky's blue, water's wet, and women have secrets.
So yes, I was a coach in AAU for the Katy Rebels for 10 years. Helped a lot of girls, a lot of girls who still call me now, go off to colleges of all different levels, and that was truly a blessing because they were a blessing to me. And after that, got married, started having children of my own. So I decided, it was time for, like we said, for us to start this business and do something else. But the things that were instilled in me helped me in every level and aspect as my life was changing. Because when you are an athlete, you know that, it's pretty much about you.
No doubt.
It's about you and scoring the basket and the interviews, and then to go from that to now I have to kind of humble myself, and I let the husband take the lead, and now I'm home with the children, and then to go from that now to going back to the forefront, that persistence, commitment, steadfastness, all those things.
We always, like Larry and myself, we like to ask every guest about inspirations and mentors. Is there anyone specifically, or is there a book that you read that inspired you and set you down this path? Because, of course, building a business and being an entrepreneur, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be challenges. And everyone who starts on their journey doesn't always come out of the other end.
This is true.
So is there anyone, family member, close personal friend that you've, even from like some of your earliest memories, that may have let you know that, being a business owner is a space that I could actually be involved in and be successful?
I have two.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first one is in Canada, and that would be my AAU coach.
Okay.
And his name was Mervyn Busby. Whether anybody believes it or not, in Canada there are hoods, ghettos.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Drake said riding through the six, but I still haven't figured out what that means.
There are. I happened to grow up in one, raised by a single mom. So Mr. Busby found me at the age of 10, and started teaching me basketball, of course, and then started teaching me about life lessons, and let me know that though this is where I live, and I'm poverty-stricken and things like that, that I can do anything that I want to do. And if he hadn't come into my life at that time, like you said, some people don't come out the other end.
Right.
So, he did everything. I don't know if there's another AAU coach who does stuff like this. Like our Sundays would be filled with, morning would be aerobics. And after aerobics, then you had practice. After practice, you had weights. And then you had tutoring.
Oh, wow.
Because all of our assistant coaches were teachers like him.
At the AAU level?
At the AAU level.
I've never heard of tutoring being involved with AAU programs.
He made sure we had tutors right there, and our tutors were our assistant coaches.
Yeah.
So we did everything from 8 o'clock in the morning, and we probably weren't leaving there till about 3 p.m. in the afternoon every Sunday. So that's my first one. And then after that would be my grandmother, Amy V. Watson, the one that was living here that passed away. This woman grew up in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. That's where both of my parents were born and raised.
Kingston, I seen a movie on Kingston, Jamaica. It wasn't always safe down there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, now they got hoods. I don't know about Toronto, but I know that they got hoods in Jamaica. I'm just in Kingston. What? I seen the movie. I'm just
So, yes, she told me a story a long time ago, and recently my father went ahead and, he verified it as well. Not that I didn't already believe her, but she had 2 kids. Both husbands had passed away, each time. So it's now she found herself by herself, and she had to figure out what was she going to do to support these children. My grandmother decided to become a fisherwoman at a time when you're not supposed to be fishing. You're supposed to clean the fish, but you're not supposed to go get the fish type of thing. So she started her own fish market. selling the fish herself.
Yeah.
And she'd have my dad walk, carry the cart up the hill, around the hills. If you've been to Jamaica, you know how hilly that is.
Right. Yep.
And that's what she did. And that little fish market turned into a, medium-sized market. Soon it became a huge market. And she was able to take care of the kids herself. Soon I'm always getting told stories of how, I know I'm from Jamaica, but I had a maid and I had a cook in the house.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Daddy.
Wow.
No, I mean, because that's a
That's
true
what
testament to hard work and
Yeah,
dedication.
and entrepreneur right
Oh,
there. That's the first entrepreneur right there. That was it. You start off catching them, and then, man, that's
and then
amazing.
you set up your
Yeah.
own shop. The next thing you know, you expand
There
over
you go.
time,
Yeah.
right size the business. And I mean, for someone at that age, you might not. It's so funny that a lot of times some of the most touching stories are stories that as children we hear secondhand.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not always about when you're at that age what you actually visualize, because you can't really handle the concept sometimes. You can't really rationalize what's really going on. But when you start hearing the folklore and the legends of people in your direct bloodline, the successes they've
Yes.
had,
Yeah.
it helps to raise your self-esteem,
Yes, it does.
and it helps to raise your self-awareness about what's possible.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Wow.
it's outstanding. And I mean, I think it's truly a blessing that you have
Definitely.
those two people to set those examples for you.
Yep.
Yes.
And that thing, I mean, I think that's absolutely invaluable. But I wanted to get into this before we tied up the interview with you today. Let's make sure everyone knows how to reach you
Okay.
for consultation, quotes, and how to find you online. So let's go over all the ways that new clients can reach out to you and reach you directly.
Okay. They can reach me directly at our new business number.
Okay.
It is 832-982-2289. Once again, 832-982-2289.
Just got that number. You memorize it already? That's pretty
Hey,
good.
I gotta stay in step. And then our IG is Safehouse Protection, and on Facebook we are Safe House.
And just if you guys ever have any questions a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you can always reach out to Larry or myself through Facebook, IG, and we'll always have no problem referring you and getting you in contact
right.
with Ms. Grace.
Yep.
Mr. Brooks, are there any upcoming events that Prime Real Estate Network or Brooks and Davis Real Estate will be hosting that people can get involved with?
So a few things. Tonight, we're going to be having a career night. So if you're interested in a real estate career, if you've ever thought about it or just had questions about it, or just see if it's something that would fit your current lifestyle, or if it's something you have a future vision on, tonight at our office from 6:30 to 8:30, we'll be having just a social. We'll be our CEO, Michael G. Davis, will be sitting around and just kind of having conversations and enlightening everyone on the process of becoming a licensed realtor, and just a little bit about our brokerage firm as well. So if you're already a realtor and you're looking at another firm, come on over, visit with us. Our office number, if you want to call and RSVP, you don't have to, but if you would like to, is 713-665-8329. And also our address is 2600 South Loop West, and we'll be in Suite 310. One other thing, Rick, is Land Day is coming up. And so Land Day is a very big thing, because what happens is in a lot of our older communities, people pass away, and sometimes they don't know the strategy on either, putting a replacement or someone in place for their homes when they pass away, or if they just have questions about, what's going on in their neighborhood and their tours at this point. We're going to be participating in Land Day. And again, our CEO, Michael G. Davis, will be speaking at Land Day. And so Land Day is going to be on Monday. If you would call our office at 713-665-8329 and get the details on the address of it. But Land Day is very important. So you may be a realtor, you may be a grandparent of something of that matter, but you want to kind of understand how it works. So, yeah.
And I want to make sure I urge all of my clients, business partners that have expressed interest in becoming a professional real estate agent with me to stop by today at the Brooks and Davis Real Estate office at 2600 South Loop, because it's going to be a really informal question and answer session where you don't have to be nervous. It's not a job interview, but it's
not at all.
actually a brainstorming question and answer with the actual broker of Brooks and Davis Real
Yep.
Estate. So I urge everyone to take advantage of that opportunity. I want to thank our guest today, Ms. Sharon Grace from
Yeah.
Safehouse Protection, for being an outstanding guest today. I hope everyone has been able to actually take in and absorb all the information and your testimony today, because I think it'll work as an inspiration for those who are listening to us live or who have opportunity to listen to us in the future. So I want to thank you for that. Mr. Brooks, as always, man, it's been an honor and a pleasure hosting this show with you. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in this week to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I urge you all to tune in next week. If you have any questions, comments, please don't hesitate. You can reach out to Mr. Brooks and myself on Instagram, Facebook, or any social media outlet. I urge everyone to subscribe to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, and our YouTube channel as well. So on behalf of myself, my co-host, and our guests, I thank you all for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. We'll see you all next week, and stay blessed.
Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC is marketing a property for sale right now that you can buy. These properties range from land lots for under $20,000 to move-in ready homes $500,000 and more, along with everything in between. To see this week's list of properties for sale you can buy now, go to bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. That's bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. If you plan on selling some real estate and you need it on the weekly list, call 713-665-8329 to speak with someone about it.